And here we go. It is the one and only VPR Radio, and we are live every single Thursday. Here I am, your girl Kiana the Goddess, with my boy DJ FMI, looking fly as per usual.
Man, I try my best when I'm here on VPR. Guys, what is going on? I miss you guys. There has been so much going on. Kiana is glowing as per usual.
Thank you.
As per usual. It is a beautiful Thursday. I'm so happy to be
Yes.
on the stream with you guys. I've been streaming a lot more recently. I've been pushing the content a lot on Twitch. So
Hmm.
thank you to a lot of the people that have been connected from the VPR account that has been following me on Twitch. It's
Yes.
nice to see you watch me while I promote events, while I'm enjoying my free time and of
That's
course
good.
pushing games. So Kiana, how's your Thursday starting off?
It's great. I mean, it's a beautiful sunshiny day. I'm happy not to see the rain and things are dry. So I'm feeling great. I'm going live on Poshmark, going to make some money when we get up off of here. And it's going to be a great day.
Kiana, oh, this is perfect. It's a perfect segue to actually something I was looking into. Um, you've seen how the Congress has now passed a bill for the TikTok ban,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
know I know Spade in '86. He had 1,000 followers, and he goes live on TikTok, and he actually runs it up on there. And
Right.
I know
Right.
you run a lot of our accounts on TikTok. How do you
Yeah.
feel about this ban
Well,
that is being proposed?
I mean, the fact of the matter is that as much as America talks about freedom, right, there's a
Okay.
lot of control that is in place and control positioning that happens behind the scenes. I mean, this TikTok ban is a big topic, but I do wonder, as everyone is focused on that topic, what other bills are being passed quietly that we don't know about? Because this is always what happens, right? The big thing takes up the media, and so that you can have everyone, especially that's on TikTok, we all utilize TikTok, whether
Hmm.
personally or for our business, right? So that would obviously throw a wrench in things. But the fact of the matter is that the platforms that we're using, and I'm not going to speak too ill of them because they'll probably shadow ban me again. But Facebook blocked me many, many times, several times after we went live with JD. Race for what? I don't think that that was
Oh,
a
okay.
coincidence, for absolutely no reasoning, for months on end. And TikTok does offer a lot more freedom. It feels more like China and the way that they dictate
There
things,
we go.
right?
And that's where the scare is coming from. My thing is TikTok does offer a lot of opportunities and it gives a lot of space for creators to create
Yeah.
freely. But the information that's being collected from all of us and that we agree upon all these platforms that we frequent, even Meta, so look at Instagram, making money off of pictures that we post and we do not own them.
Well, that's the big
It's a
thing,
big
right?
color. Yeah.
Data and big data, and this is why I became
Hmm.
certified in data analysis, because I recognize
Talking.
that data is gold, right? Everyone wants your data, they want your information. You wonder how you get these texts like, yeah, the UPS package has not been delivered. And you're like, I don't have no damn UPS package, or this isn't how it works. These are scammers that get your numbers from the dark web, right? And from phishing and all of these other means, and they're able to take your data. And a lot of times our data is sold, right? Like my friend just sent me a whole letter and she was like, what the hell is this? It was a data breach for the company that handles her son's healthcare. Okay.
Hmm.
And his data had been breached. And people were like, okay, data breach, what does that mean? It means that people can open your accounts. It means that people can look into the history of what you do, see your credit cards, et cetera, et cetera. These hackers know
You
what
see when they hacked my Facebook and they were running up
yeah.
like $1,000 in ad revenue through
Yeah.
one of my business accounts, and and I didn't think of the power of Facebook back then, but all of the entities that I've met throughout my career, all the people booked me for events, and the professional
Yeah.
accounts that I've come across. But so losing access to all of that, having my information took, and someone posing as me, getting my account banned,
Yeah.
it was not a fun experience, and getting charged for it.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't at VPR.
Right, because the fact of the matter is that these platforms, if something happens, it's not even like they're going to get right back to you. Do you know that I got an email from Instagram that they posted one of our videos that they took down 5 years ago? They were like, "Oh, we did agree with you and blah blah blah, and now your video is back up." I'm like, "From 5 years ago?" 5 years ago is when I disputed it. So that shows you the average time that it takes for them to respond to things, right? It's not even like there's a level of customer service, but when it comes to these
When
platforms,
they pick up there in India.
right? and they're using our
And
data.
I'm okay with that, but damn, that language barrier sometimes, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But go ahead.
The big problem here is that when we give our data, if you wonder why when you talk about something out loud, Alexa's listening, Siri's listening, right? We've talked about this before. We give all of our access. They say, do you allow terms and conditions? And you scroll, and then you just hit the checkbox. Read some of those terms and conditions and you'll be shocked. Some of them require, especially Instagram, they have access to all of your pictures. TikTok, they have access to all of your pictures, not just the pictures that you upload, the pictures from your gallery, depending on the level of access that you grant them, right? And they use this so that when you say out loud, damn, I'm hungry. I want some wings from, the big wing place that we all talk about that I'm not going to promote if they're not our sponsor.
You see what I'm saying?
No, you go on Facebook and you see an ad in the corner for wings. Get $5 off right now. And you're like, wasn't I just talking about wings? Wasn't I just searching on
data and
on a
all of
department
that
store for something that I'm looking at, and the ad comes off on the side on Instagram or on Facebook? That's how they're using our data. Data is gold. Protect it at all costs and know that people will pay hefty money for it. So,
and I think, wasn't Google just exposed for even the incognito mode was still collecting data?
Yep. I got
so
on that class action suit. I was like, sure, I've used incognito.
facts. That's
Give me my $12.87. I want it, and I want it now.
I want it now. It is a good chopped cheese in the morning because the prices went up in New York City. Before we have our guests come up, we just finished one of our huge events in our office. Kiana, I would like to invite you out to our Hit the Beat office. We had Shampoo, Pop Out, Def Jam, YMVS, and YMG.
Yes, sir.
They were listening to a few of the artists that we had in our office, giving them opportunity to get a distribution deal.
Absolutely, partner.
Kiana, we have a lot to talk about, but let's bring up our guest.
Yes.
He's been patiently waiting, and I can't wait for you guys to see him.
And Mr. Leapart is very much family at this point on the show. What's up, my friend? How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Doing great. Feeling good.
I'm really good, my brother.
That's good. That's good.
So tell us everything. You've got so much going on in your creative atmosphere. Let me mute you real quick while I ask you this because there's some feedback. You've got so much going on in your creative atmosphere, and you now are publishing your third book. Tell us about that.
Like you said, I have so much going on. One thing that I am so excited about is that this third book is my baby. You know how every creative has that one album or that one book or that one movie that they know that they just love telling people about because it's like, that's my baby. This book is very personal to me. It means a lot to me because it goes into my childhood and it talks about so many different things, from the trauma that I faced, from the way that I grew up, the stuff that I learned that I had to unlearn. And now that I'm in a different space in my life, literally and figuratively, it's like I really want to show people that your past does not define you. And it does. You don't have to be a certain age, a certain gender, a certain rate, whatever. You don't have to be any of that. You can just be who you are, and you can just grow into who you are meant to become.
And I love that you named it His Story.
Yeah.
What is the inspiration behind that?
So I was listening to, I'm a heavily music person. Like, I love music. And one of my favorite artists is Fantasia. And I was listening to her newest album, Sketchbook. And the first song on the album is called History. And she goes straight into it. She's punching it. She's like, the best comeback of the century. I'm going to make history. And I'm like, yo, this is a really dope song. And then I started realizing, like, all of the stuff that I lost in the past year. All of the opportunities that I didn't get to get, all of the people and partnerships that I thought that was going to work that didn't work out, like all of that. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make history. This is gonna be my story. And when I was writing the book, I started realizing, like, dog, everything that was thrown at me to try to knock me off guard, it didn't work. I was, juking them. I was dodging them. And I said, okay, I'm gonna make history. I'm gonna make history, even if I don't see it now. I'm gonna make history because I know that my work ethic is bigger than what I see right now.
So, my question to you, Jamarius, if I'm opening page 1 of the book, what am I going to encounter? What is the feeling I'm going to get?
You're gonna get that internet cousin. You're gonna get like I'm talking to you, like I called you and I said, "Hey, cuz, hey, I got something I want you to hear," and you're going to really feel like you're talking to your cousin, like you and your cousin are having a conversation.
No, that's literally how the book begins.
Literally. It begins like, "Hey, so I want to let you know something," and I go into it because so many times, especially like us influencers, content creators, we try to have this facade that, oh, we're just so perfect and we know everything and we got it going on. And sometimes people just want to be related to. Like, people want to know that I can relate to you and you can relate to me on certain topics or certain situations. And I've always been very open about everything that I've been through because I'm like, people need to hear that. And people gravitate toward authenticity. If you're real about what you go through, people are like, okay, I like him, I like her. And so I wanted people to really be comfortable with going into their childhood because a lot of trauma happens in our childhood, especially for us as minorities. And so I wanted people to really get that real, okay, I can relax, I can feel comfortable with, thinking about some of that stuff and even organizing it to where I can possibly heal from it.
So, what was the process of, gathering these thoughts and actually getting the book together? And how did you bring yourself to say, "Hey, this is a story that needs to be told"? And what was that process like? How long did it take you?
This book took me the longest, and that's crazy because I've been doing it for like 3.5 years now. So it's like I can write even TV scripts or write music, and I can just go as long as I got the flow into it. I'm good. But this book, it was like a fight. It took me almost 1.5 years to really finish this book. And most of the time, I can sit down if I'm really into it. I can finish a book in like a month or two. But it took me almost 1.5 years to finish this book, and I knew that I needed to write this story because my last two books, they were about my story and they talked about where I was at that moment. But this book right here, it goes deeper than just me now or what people see. It goes deeper than that. And I was like, if I really want people to, because I feel like I'm at the cusp of where God wants me to be in my career. And I'm like, if I want people to really see me as who I am, people have to know exactly where I come from, and people have to know exactly where I'm going and where I am now, figuratively and literally. And so when I moved to California, I was like, okay, I really want to write a book, but I don't know if I want to write a book, but I want to write another book. And so I was just thinking, and I said, okay. So I started writing it, and God told me like, this is gonna be the last book for a while. And so I was like, okay, I got to be as transparent as I can because the book is like my album. Like, an album is to singers, a book is that's what it is to me. And so I was like, okay, I really want people to know that I've been I've creatively grown. I want people to know that I have grown in my writing, and I want people to know that I've grown in me. And so I really wanted this book to show that. And so the writing process was just me listening to good music because I love music. It was me going back to like old videos of me when I was a little boy in church. I went back to like older videos of seeing my grandmother, my grandfather cook. I would call my grandmother on the phone or call my grandfather on the phone. I would say, "Hey, remember when you taught me how to cook chicken?" And I would just listen to that story, and it would give me inspiration about what to write next. Like, it was a lot of different processes that helped me create this book.
Yes, and you shared a sneak preview of the book for us, which we really appreciate. And I love how, you honed into food and how that's an important part of the family in the South. And really, when you connect people personally, like you said, that authenticity, trauma that we experience in childhood, a lot of times it's like, don't talk about it, hold it in, right? And that's why a lot of people implode and explode and suffer through stress and anxiety and all of these other inflictions, because they haven't gone back to the root of these problems. And it often will teach you why you keep repeating the same patterns, because when you don't learn from them, and like you said something really relevant to me when you came in about unlearning things that you were taught. And I think that's such an important and impactful part of how we grow, because we're not always taught the right thing, right? And often there's a lot of wrong things that are thrown at us as we're growing and we're living. And so helping to share that with others, I already know is going to be so inspiring.
And it's amazing because I didn't realize how much I had to unlearn until I left my environment. And I was like, whoa, whoa. I didn't know that it was this much that I had basically packed down. I suppressed it. And so when I started writing this book, a lot of different emotions started coming up, a lot of different feelings started coming up, a lot of different thoughts. And that was one of the reasons why it took me so long, because some of that stuff I couldn't deal with at that moment. I was like, okay, let me calm down, because whoa, okay. Yeah, I was like, okay, chill. But once I started writing and I started organizing some of those thoughts, and I even started talking to like my sisters and some of my family members about some of this stuff, and it helped me heal, because I was like, okay, I didn't see it that way, but they might have saw it that way. Sometimes we just have to have conversations that are hard, and I'm learning that now. As I'm actually now I'm on this tour to promote this book. I'm learning it's okay to have hard conversations, and it's okay to have to be the one to open that conversation, because so many times, because of how we grew up, a lot of times we were taught, don't say too much. It's disrespectful for you to have your own thought. It's disrespectful for you to be able to go back and this, even
He's
especially against
talking
my
VPR. He's
yeah,
talking VPR.
yeah. It was like, especially for somebody who was older. It was very disrespectful for you to say you wrong. That's not right. I'm not comfortable with that. And so I'm learning now at 21 how to heal from stuff that happened when I was 12, 15. And I really want people, especially in my generation, to know that you don't have to be 21 and broken. You can start your healing journey now. Yeah, it's cool to live. Yeah, I want you to live, because I'm still live. But you don't have to be 21 and broken. You don't have to be 21 and doing what statistics want you to do. You can be you can be better. You can be better than that, just by understanding that you went through what you went through so that you can be a better person. And that's for all of us.
VPR, and I love that we're bringing this up here, and we're kicking off our morning, but it's more divulged into like a mental health conversation, and I love that for our people that are tuning in right now, especially him saying we know things are wrong and we look the other way because we have to respect our elders.
Mm-hmm.
How much times have we all done this? And growing up to see your parents, and when you actually have to see them as human beings and be like, hey, that actually wasn't the right choice.
Right.
Wow. And trying to humanize it.
Right. I mean, I think humanizing is so important. And I do also want to just kind of dovetail on that a little bit and say, even in my own personal experience, we don't always get the opportunity to have those conversations, right? Everyone's not willing to have those conversations. And depending how many generations you're going back, even as an adult, they can still come back and be like, I'm not talking about that. We're not going to talk about that. So the healing journey also entails that forgiveness and acceptance for people where they are, right? And it doesn't always mean that you even have to be around them. But I want to congratulate you because you're so young. So to even say starting your healing journey and feeling where you are right now at 21, that's tremendous. There are people that are
21
in their
VPR.
60s, that are in their 70s, that are in their 30s and 40s, that are completely unhealed and haven't even begun to look at that journey because they don't want to go that far back. Right. So I love that you really ventured in. And even though it was a process that brought up emotions and hard conversations, you were like, I'm going to do this because this is what I need to grow.
And it's funny because I've always been that child. Even as a young boy, I used to be that child. I didn't care if I knew something was wrong, I was gonna say it. I knew I was gonna get in trouble for it, but I was gonna say it because I'm just that person. Um, and so when I started writing this book, I started laughing at myself because I was like, "Wow, you still that young boy who's just gonna say what you need to say." And so although that there were some things in my life, especially as when I was younger, that kind of altered who I felt like I should have been. I realized like those same attributes that I had when I was younger, once you grow up, those things come back. Especially because sometimes as younger, you know how you see a child who's vibrant, they love to play with other kids, and then as they grow up, you start seeing them be more, they don't want to be around people. They don't want to talk to people. They become like those angry. And you used to look at them like, wow, what happened? And then I realized like I was that child for a long time. But sometimes because of the environment you grow up in, you become a lot guarded. You think you have to be on defense with a lot of people. And I realized that that was something that I had to work on because I didn't want to be one of those people where, people didn't like me. Especially because the last 2 years, everybody who came into my life career-wise, they wanted me to be somebody that I wasn't. And I used to be like, okay, well, maybe if I do this, they'll like me. Or maybe if I do this, I'll be more likable. And then I started losing those attributes of who I was. And so now I'm learning how to be exactly who I am. Because especially as Black people, we get into these spaces, the entertainment world, and they want us to be everything that we are not. And it's like, okay, well, um, how are people going to know me if I have to be somebody I'm not? And so that also helped me with this creative process because I said, I want people to know exactly who I am outside of, the content that I make, outside of what they see on social media. I want people to know exactly who Jamarius Lee Party is, my story. Um, and compared to the last two books, this book really is that vulnerable spot for me. Like a lot of people are going to look at, when they get done with this book, they're going to say, okay, I understand exactly why he is who he is.
I love that VPR. It seems like you really found yourself. I'm thinking back to our first interview, and I'm just like, wow, the growth that you've had. To think that you're only 21. That's breathtaking. So let me ask you: you moved from the South, right? You are now in LA. What is the LA scene like for a young man that is 21 right now?
It's like a dream come true that if you're not careful can turn into a nightmare. Uh, when I'm always glad when people ask me how that, because a lot of my family they'll ask me, well, how does it feel being from the South and you're now in LA, you're now in California? And I'm like, it's cool, but because I have a great grounding, I know exactly who I am now, and I know what I believe. Um, it helps me to know exactly how to operate and maneuver around in this setting. And I'm learning that every day. I'm not perfect, and I'm learning that every day because when I first got here, I was very like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna hit the ground. I'm gonna hit the pavement rolling. And then when I got here, I realized, okay, it's a lot of healing I need to do. Because when you move, when you make a big move like that, you are still attached to so much of your environment. and emotionally, mentally, physically. And so when I got here, I was like, oh, I can't do none of the new stuff until I actually heal the old stuff. And it's been a journey. It's been a journey, and I'm excited about it. I'm gonna have so many great things coming up. I have so many great, partnerships that I'm excited to be a part of. So many great music, so much great music that I am releasing soon. It's so many, and I'm just so excited. I'm excited.
It's amazing to see your growth, Jamarius. Honestly, I'm happy to get a copy of that book. I know Kiana said we got the sneak peek.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it. I am gonna copy and paste it so I can make Siri read it in the car. You know what I mean? While I'm
I
whipping.
love that.
You know what I mean? I'm smart with it. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for taking time out to just to catch us up with your experience. Honestly, be careful in LA. I'm glad that you're learning every day. Don't get lost in the sauce. You could have came to New York and had the same experience. They
Yeah,
get lost in the bright lights.
that's
LA
true.
got the palm trees. You know what I mean?
Well, I think he really spoke on the level of his wisdom, right? As a young man, and he said I had to heal, right? I had to take care of my baggage before I could venture out into this new world because I had this idea of what I wanted, but I knew that I really couldn't make that idea from a shape into a real form until I dealt with all of that excess trauma that I
So
was holding
real.
on to. So that, we love seeing your journey. We can't wait till you come back. Please let everybody know when your book will be live, where they can get it, and what you have coming next, and of course, where to find you.
So my book will be live today actually. After this interview, it will be on Barnes and Noble. You can go to Barnes and Noble, you can get the book. I'm excited, man, because this book is just, it means a lot to me. It means so much to me. Um and you can find me on all social media platforms. Instagram, Jamarius Leapart, I think. I think it's Jamarius Leapart. Facebook, Jamarius Leapart. You can find me on Snapchat at Jamarius Leapart. Like all of it is Jamarius Leapart. I'm now branding myself as Jamarius Leapart because when I came here the last time, I had my podcast Turk Talks and I had Turks Tabloids, and now I'm at a place where um I'm changing a lot of stuff. I'm in a different era in my life, and I wanted people to know exactly who Jamarius Leapart was. So yeah, this book is amazing. So you can find it on Barnes and Noble. Also I have some new music coming out as well. So make sure that y'all are following me for that. I love y'all, man. I love all of my internet cousins. That's what I call them, my internet cousins. And so I'm excited about all of the great things that is happening.
VPR, I am so happy that we had him on today.
Me too. And we love you right back,
Jamarius,
bro. For real.
make sure you have a blessed day, man. It is all love on this side. We are rooting for you. I'm
Yeah.
going to be making sure I check out all your content and engaging with it.
Go and get
Have a
that
blessed
book,
day, man.
y'all. His story, Jamarius Leapart. You're gonna absolutely love it. You're gonna love it. We'll see you soon.
Damn. Have a great day, man.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Whoa.
I love our level of guests and the positive energy that they put forth and how they really work hard to help others. I mean, thinking back to the last couple of guests we had, Jamie,
Yeah.
and, living your best life, being
Mhm.
happy, unapologetically being you, that authenticity. If we could continue just to spread that, bro, and then, we both personally, together, collaboratively, we have so much going on. I'm just so excited
Yes.
about the future of VPR and the continuance of our incredible guests.
Honestly, guys, it's a blessing to be here every Thursday with you guys, everyone that tunes in. I appreciate you. Play
Yes.
me in your car, play me on YouTube, play it in your doctor's office, all of that. Me and Kiana
Oh,
love the love. We have a lot of events coming up in April. Artists tap in. We've been throwing the biggest showcases in New York for last 2 years.
period.
Shout out to Shampoo for
Yes, sir.
tapping in with the movement. We had him out here in Staten Island in our office. You know what? Better yet, before we get out of here, I'm gonna put it up there so y'all can leave on a good note.
Yes, please.
Let me show you. It's better. Let me show you.
Show us,
I don't
partner.
want to tell you. We've been putting in a lot of work to get a city of sound, as you can see.
Yes.
But where is it? Where is it? Right here. This is the live. We had all the artists performing live for Shampoo, YNVS.
Don't hesitate, baby girl, make it wait one. baby girl, make your waist wine. Don't play no game, baby girl, make your waist wine. I said, now girl, make your waist wine. Girl, make your waist wine.
Shampoo, you know what I mean?
Step knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Tap in with us, VPR Radio. You know what I mean? We have a lot of vendors. If you do want to get some interviews, please. We have a lot of dope hip hop stars lined up to come up here. So rock with us. We
Rock with us. And for y'all that don't know about Shampoo, right? Like in the entertainment game, I mean, come on, son.
Yo, it's crazy. So Kiana, you know, we already received the email in our VPR for the 20th year celebrating him. It was the other day. So I went to it, you know, parlayed, and it was just the love
Everybody
that we
was
put
there.
in.
I already know.
Mike. I seen Mike. He just like, oh, what's good? Tell Kiana, I said, what's up? You know what I mean? The interview, I got some new music coming out. So it's a whole lot of love on that side. And
yeah, it's always been love. Like, shout out to that whole team, right? Like, we've known them for years and years and years and years, and they just been growing, and it's always been a lot of love. I mean, we went to a Def Jam YMVS event, and that's where we interviewed Kaya Baby, and it was lit. I mean, it was really lit. We had a lot of
Kaya's
fun.
doing great things.
Yep.
I just DJed for Young Devin, you know what I mean? That last week.
Yes, sir.
So much. Just follow us on Instagram, follow us on VPR, all the vlogs.
You already know, at VPR_radio. And you can also stream our shows live every Thursday from the VPR website, you guys, which we always prefer.
Yes.
www.vprradio.org. Hit our YouTube, run our numbers up. We appreciate and we love you. And, you know, I just want to send you guys many, many blessings. Every time I leave here, I feel just so empowered and so light, right? Like I can do anything. So thank you, bro, for always bringing that great energy to us, always.
Always. VPR, I will see you next Thursday. Kiana will see you next Thursday, of course, being stunning herself. Later, guys.
Bye, guys.